Imagine if you could walk into a room and know exactly who is lying to you. Imagine sitting across from a business partner, a date, or a friend, and hearing not just what they are saying, but what they are thinking. We grow up believing that communication is about words. We think that if we have a large vocabulary, or if we speak eloquently, we will understand each other. But this is the greatest lie of human history. Words are not tools for truth. Words are masks. We use words to hide our insecurity, to manipulate reality, and to cover up our dark intentions. If you rely on words to navigate your life, you're walking through a minefield blindfolded. You're guessing, and sooner or later, you will step on a mine. But what if I told you that there is a language that cannot lie? In the shadows of ancient Japan, among the ninja and the high-ranking samurai diplomats, there existed a skill known as Hara Gei. Translated literally, it means the art of the belly. But in practice, it was the art of gut communication, the ability to read the invisible atmosphere, to sense the killing intent before a sword was drawn, and to hear the truth that the mouth refused to speak. This is not magic. It is a lost technology of human observation. And today, we are going to teach you how to see the invisible. If you are ready to remove the blindfold and see the world as it truly is, subscribe to the TGR Flurby. We dig deep where others merely scratch the surface. To understand the power of Hara Gei, we must travel back to the Edo period, to the story of a young, ambitious negotiator named Kenji. Kenji was brilliant. He had memorized every law, every poem, and every rule of etiquette. He believed that the world was a logical place, that if he made a good argument, people would agree. His daimyo sent him on a critical mission to negotiate a peace treaty with a rival clan known as the Black Vipers. Kenji arrived at the Vipers' castle confident. He sat across from the enemy warlord, a man with a face like stone. For 3 days, they talked. The warlord was polite. He smiled. He nodded at Kenji's proposals. He used beautiful, flowery language about brotherhood and future peace. Kenji was ecstatic. He wrote a letter back to his lord. They have agreed to everything. Success is ours. But on the 4th night, as Kenji slept in the guest quarters, the castle gates opened, not to let him out, but to let an army in. The Black Vipers slaughtered Kenji's guards. Kenji barely escaped with his life, bleeding and disgraced, running into the dark forests. He had listened to the words, and the words had almost killed him. Broken and ashamed, Kenji did not return home. He couldn't face his lord. Instead, he sought out a blind monk who lived in a cave near the coast, a man rumored to be a former spy master for the shogun. Kenji told the monk, "I don't understand. The warlord said he wanted peace. He smiled. He gave me his word. Why did he lie?" The blind monk laughed. It was a dry, rasping sound. "He did not lie," the monk said. "You just did not hear him." "How could I hear him?" Kenji shouted. "I listened to every word." "That is your problem," the monk replied. "The mouth is a servant of the ego. It says what is convenient. But the hara, the gut, the breath, the tension, it is a servant of the truth. It cannot lie." For the next 2 years, the monk stripped Kenji of his ability to speak. He was forbidden to use words. They would sit in the market square. The monk would ask, "That man selling fish, is he desperate or greedy?" Kenji would look. "He is smiling, so he is happy." The monk would smack Kenji with his cane. "Wrong. Look at his hands. They are tight. Look at his blink rate. It is fast. He is in debt. He is terrified." Kenji learned to stop looking at the social mask. He learned to watch the micro-movements. He learned to listen to the silence. He realized that when the warlord had said, "Peace," his hand had drifted to his sword hilt. When he had smiled, his eyes had remained dead. When he spoke of brotherhood, his breathing had become shallow and sharp. The truth had been screaming in the room. Kenji was just too deaf to hear it. Years later, Kenji returned to his daimyo. He became the most feared negotiator in Japan, not because he spoke well, but because he would sit in total silence, staring into the souls of his enemies until they crumbled and told the truth. He had mastered Hara Gei. He no longer listened to the waves on the surface. He watched the current underneath. You might think, that's a cool story, but I'm not a samurai. The reality is, your brain is hardwired for Hara Gei. You just forgot how to use it. Modern psychology calls this the leakage hypothesis. Psychologists have discovered that while we can control our words and even our main facial expressions, we cannot control our micro-expressions. These are flashes of emotion that last less than a second. When someone lies, their emotional brain experiences stress. It knows the truth. To tell a lie, the thinking brain has to construct a fake reality. This takes cognitive effort. Because the brain is working so hard to build the lie, the body leaks the truth. Their feet point towards the door. They touch their neck to soothe anxiety. Their blink rate increases. Their tone of voice creates a mismatch with their words. This is what the blind monk meant by the Hara. Communication studies state that 55% of communication is body language, 38% is tone of voice, and only 7% is the actual words. Think about that. 93% of the truth is silent. When Kenji failed, he was focusing on the 7%. He was ignoring the 93%. Most of you are doing the exact same thing every single day. Let's get brutal for a minute. The reason you cannot read minds is not because you lack the skill. It is because you are a narcissist. I don't mean you are a bad person. I mean you are self-obsessed. When you are in a conversation, what are you doing? Are you truly observing the other person? Are you watching their pupils dilate? Are you listening to the gap between their sentences? No. You're thinking about yourself. Do I look good? What should I say next to sound smart? Does she like me? I hope I don't get rejected. Your internal noise is so loud that you cannot hear the external signal. You're like a radio that is constantly broadcasting static, so you can never pick up the music. To read minds, you must kill your ego. You must become a mirror. A mirror has no opinion. A mirror has no desire. It simply reflects exactly what is in front of it. If you want to have the power of a mentalist, you have to stop trying to be interesting and start being interested. Stop projecting. Start receiving. How do we apply Hara Gei in the 21st century? It is not just about detecting lies. It is about success. In business, the average employee listens to instructions. The master employee reads the boss's anxiety. If your boss says, "Take your time on this project," but his jaw is clenched and he is tapping his pen, Hara Gei tells you, "Do this immediately, or you are fired." The person who reads the air wins the promotion. In dating, how many men chase women who are clearly not interested? They hear polite words like, "I'm just busy right now," and they think there is a chance. If you had Hara Gei, you would see the lack of eye contact. You would feel the closed body language. You would save yourself months of humiliation by reading the no that was never spoken. In friendship, your friend says, "I'm fine," but their shoulders are slumped. Their pitch is flat. The average friend says, "Okay, cool." The true friend, the one who has Hara Gei, says, "No, you're not. Sit down. Tell me the truth." This skill creates a deep, almost psychic connection with people. When you understand someone better than they understand themselves, you become irresistible. You cannot learn this by reading a book. You must train it like a muscle. Here is your protocol. Step 1. The mute button drill. Tonight, when you watch a movie or an interview, turn the sound off. Watch the actors for 5 minutes. Can you figure out the emotion just by their eyes? Can you tell who is dominant and who is submissive just by their posture? Train your brain to value the visual over the auditory. Step 2. Watch the feet. People learn to control their faces. We are taught to smile since childhood, but nobody teaches us to lie with our feet. When talking to someone, glance at their feet. Are they pointing at you? They are engaged. Are they pointing away? They want to leave. Are they wrapped around the chair legs? They are insecure or hiding something. The feet are the most honest part of the body. Step 3. The pregnant pause. This is a ninja technique. When you ask someone a question and they give you a rehearsed answer, do not speak. Look them in the eyes and wait. Stay silent for 3 to 4 seconds. The silence creates pressure. In that pressure, the social mask cracks. They will often start talking again to fill the silence, and that is when the truth comes out. Let's go back to Kenji. The blind monk taught him a final lesson before he left the cave. He said, "The eyes can be deceived, the ears can be tricked, but the hara, the gut, is connected to the universe." We live in a loud world. Everyone is shouting. Everyone is posting. Everyone is typing. We are drowning in information, but we are starving for wisdom. You have a choice. You can continue to be a sheep, led by words, manipulated by lies, and surprised by betrayal. Or you can become the seer. You can be the one who sits in the back of the room, says nothing, but knows everything. The power is not in what you say. It is in what you see. Open your eyes, shut your mouth, and listen to the silence. If you are ready to see the truth, comment below, "I see everything." Like this video to sharpen your vision. Subscribe to the TGR Flurby because we see the potential in you, even if you don't see it yet.